This conference will now be recorded.
So last class I have discussed about macro. I'll just repeat it once again and then proceed further. So macro, it is the shortcut way of executing commands. If you want any information repeatedly in your worksheet, you can assign that work to a macro. So how many times you run, you get the same content. So I'll just show it once again. You be in a new workbook. Okay. You don't type any content. First only don't store any content. Okay. So go to view, macro, go for record macro. Once you click on record macro in your status bar, you can see you will get one square box. So it indicates that you can stop recording. Now here it's going to assign the macro name by itself as macro1. If you want, you can assign a different name. You can as well assign a shortcut key. If you don't want, you need not give the shortcut key. So you cannot give Control S, Control N because it has got some functionality. Control S is to save your file. Control O is to open an existing file. Other than that, other key you're going to give it here. So I'll press Control R. Okay. Now I'll click on OK. Now you can see in the status bar you don't have any square box. Once I click on this OK, you will be getting one square box. So this indicates if you want to stop recording, click on this. Now in my workbook, I want one address to be repeatedly required. So what I'll do, I'll store the address here. So this information I have stored it. Okay. Now I want to stop recording. Click on stop recording. Now if you want the same address, either you can go to a new sheet. So press Ctrl R. You'll get the same content. Okay. How many times you wanted, you can run to get the same content. Okay. If not, what you have to do, if you want to get the same content several times, you will go for copy. You will click on copy. You can click on paste. But once when you exit from this Excel, next time again you will not get this address. You need to again click on copy, only then paste option will be active. Okay. Instead of that, if you want any action to be performed several times, you can assign that task to a macro. You can run it to get the same content. Any doubts in this macro? Any doubts? Okay. If you want to delete the macro, you can go for view tab, go to macro, click on view macro, select the macro name and delete it. Now see, here it is showing you Do you want to delete macro, yes or no? Okay, like this, I can create one dialog box. Okay, using message box and input box, I can accept the value. So we will check it out how to do that. So I'll say yes, your macro is deleted. Once you have deleted your macro, you cannot bring that macro back. If you have deleted the content from your sheet, that you can bring it back by undo command. Okay, if I undo, I'll not get back my macro. Okay, only the content what you have stored in your worksheet. If you delete it or if you have done any formatting, if you want to undo it, then you can use this option. Okay, deleted macro you cannot bring it back using undo command. Next you have VBA. So in Excel, VBA is called as, so VBA stands for Visual Basic for application. So it allows the user to automate task and create custom solutions. Okay. So if you want to activate, so if you want to activate one tab, that is called as your developer tab. So in Excel, this developer tab will not be present. So if you right click on this tab, you have customized the ribbon. So here choose commands from. You have popular commands. Under that, now developer tab is not present. If I want to include that in my tab, you can right click here on your tab, go to customize the ribbon, choose commands from. It is popular commands. So under popular commands, here on your right hand side, you have all the tabs. You want to activate even developer tab. Click on this developer tab, click on OK. Okay. Once I click on this developer tab, so here you'll get some more commands. Okay. Now I can record the macro from here also. or I can have some form controls. Okay, so how to work on this? We'll just check it out. You can click on this Visual Basic. If you click on this Visual Basic, you can go for this Insert User Form. Click on Insert User Form. Okay, on this, I'll just show you how to design the form. I'll just click on this A, this control. In the toolbox, you have control. A is for label. I'll just click on this. You'll get one label. Again, if you want one more label, you can have one more label. But I don't want it. I wanted only one label. So here you have the properties window on your left hand side. It is showing you the caption as label 1. What I'll do, I don't want label 1. I want the name of this label to be changed. I'll type enter enter a number. I want to display the message like this. Okay. So it's going to show you here. Enter a number. Here auto size, it is false. Whatever text I have typed, only that much width I wanted. I don't want unnecessary space. You can go to auto size, make it as true. So whatever text you have typed inside the label, I want to view only that much. Okay. Now what I will do, I want to insert one text box. If I click on this label again, you will be getting that. If I click on this form, you will be getting this control once more. So I'll select this text box. Text box allows the user to accept the value from the user. Okay. I want to accept one value from the user and display that output in a message box. Okay. So this is my text box. User can input any value. Now I want to display the output. I'll be using this command button. On click of the button, I want to display the output in my message box. Okay. So here I'll change the caption of this button. Click. I'll change the name as click. Or you can click on this as, you can change the name as result. Okay. Anything. Now you have one label, you have one text box, you have a command button. On click of this button, I want the output to be displayed in a message box. You are accepting a number from the user in this text box and the output has to be shown in the message box. So you know how to place the label, how to insert a text box. On click of this, I have to write a code now. I'll click on this click. So it's going to open a code window. Okay. So this is my procedure. So all window based application are event driven programming language. Nothing happens unless an event occurs. Either you click mouse click or command button click, nothing happens. See, unless I don't click on file, I don't select close, you cannot come back to your worksheet. Okay, everything is event driven. So similarly here on button click, so Button click is my object name. Click is my procedure or the event. Now here what I wanted. So I want the output to be displayed. So message box. So if you want to display any output, I'll use message box. Message box, I'll say square is the message, then concatenate whatever you accept in your text box. It will be text format. I want to convert that to numeric, so I'll use val function. Val, open the bracket, you are accepting the value from the user in the text box. Text box 1, it has got a property text. Text box has got one property, that is text. Whatever you accept in the text box, it will be in text format. I want to convert that into value. Okay. If not, it will treat whatever value that you enter in your text box, it will be treated as a text. You want to convert that, so you're using the function val here. Okay. Into val of text box 1 dot text. Now you can run this, accept a value from the user, click on this click button. I need to close one more bracket here. It's going to show you the output in your message box. Okay. On click of this, it will show you the output. Again, user can enter any value. Again, click on it, it will show you the output. Any doubts you have in this? All window based applications are event driven programming language. Yes, I'll repeat it once again. So you click on this developer tab, then you click on this Visual Basic, or the function key is Alt plus F1. Click on developer tab, click on Visual Basic, then you go for insert user form. You'll get this form. Now you have the toolbox. From your toolbox, you're selecting the label, that is label. You are placing it on your user form. Okay. Now you're changing the caption of this label. Caption I'm changing here as enter the value for n. Okay. So I've just given a message, enter the value for n. Now if I just click here, it's going to show you, but I want to see that in one single line properly. I'll just go for this auto size. It is false. You make it as true. Make it as true. Okay. Out of it, you make it as true. See? Then I want to have one text box. Select this text box. You want the user to accept the value from the text box. So text box can accept the text information from the user. Okay. Then I'll place one command button. On click of the button, whatever value that you accept in the text box, I want the output to be displayed on my message box. So what I'll do, I'll click on this command button, click here. Now you can change the caption here. I'll change the caption as result. Okay. On click of this button, I want the output to be displayed in your message box. Till here, any doubts you have? Okay. Now what I'll do is, I'll click on this button. It's going to take you to the code window. So private sub command 1, click. Okay, this is one procedure. Command button 1 is my object. Okay, click is my event, or you can call it as a procedure. On click of the button, what output it has to display. So message box is a function which allows the user to pop up a message. Okay, message box. See what you wanted to prompt. Okay, you can have even the buttons and all. So I've just taken a simple message box, open the bracket, within double quotes I want to display square is, I want to know the square of the number, accepted number, square is, then you can concatenate. Concatenate means you want the message along with that the values output. So it is like your concatenation, combining. I want to display the message as well as I want to display the output for the accepted value. Then what you're going to do is, whatever value that you accept in your text box, it is in the form of text. Okay, value also is treated as text. You cannot multiply text. So you are using the function val, wherein it will be considered as a numeric value. Okay, val of where you have entered the value in the text box. Name of my text box is text box 1. It has got one property, that is text. Multiplied by again val of text box 1 dot text. You have to close one more bracket because message box bracket is opened here. You are closing it in the end. Now you can run this. Run this, either press function key F5 or you can click on this button to run this form. Once you click on that, it will ask for the user to enter a value. Type the value, click on this result. Output is displayed on your message box. So click on OK, you can come out. Any doubts you have? Next, I want to accept a name from the user. So I'm changing the caption here to enter your name. In the text box, I'm going to accept the name. I want to display that name in my message box. On button click. On button click, I want to display the name. So my name is concatenate. In this case, you're not accepting any numeric value. So directly you will be typing whatever text that you accept from the user in the text box. That should appear. So my text box name is textbox1 dot text. It has got a property text. What text you have accepted in the text box, that should appear. So whatever message you wanted, you can display here, concatenate, and then display the text what you have accepted in your text box. Then you can run this form, accept your name, any name you can type here, click on result. See, it will show you. Okay. Any doubts in this? Okay. Similarly, we'll do some simple interest program. So for that, what all we require? I require three labels, that is principal amount, time, rate, and I want to display the simple interest. So three labels, three text boxes. On click of the button, I want to see the output. So I'll go for this label, click on this label, again go here, click on this, again click on this. You accept three text boxes. Then I want to place one button, click on this button, click here. On button click, I want to display the result of simple interest. So I'll change the caption here. For label 1, I'm changing this to principal amount. Then auto size, make it as true. Then you have label 2, for that you are changing time, again auto size, make it as true. Here label 3, I'm changing this to rate. So you can type enter principal amount, enter time, enter rate. Okay, I've typed principal amount, time, and rate. Auto size true. Now if I want to accept the value, you can accept the value from this and display the output in your command button. Click on this command button. So what I can do, I can just have one variable. How to declare a variable is, you can just type dim. I would like to have four variables. One is principal amount, one is time, one is rate, one is simple interest. Instead of every time, I cannot keep typing text box 1, text box 2, text box 3 value. Instead of that, I'll assign the value of that to the variable, okay, which can hold the value of numeric type. Default, it can accept any type of value. So if I mention directly dim variable name, it holds variant type. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll type P is equal to val of text box 1 dot text. Then T, time. I've just given one character name. You can give it as principal amount, you can give time, rate. So I'll type val of text box 2 dot text. Again, rate. Rate is equal to val of text box 3 dot text. Now I want to find simple interest. Simple interest is equal to, now directly, since whatever value you accept in your text box, now it will be in numerical form only. When I'm finding simple interest, directly I can type principal amount into time into rate divided by 100. Okay. So I'm calculating simple interest for number of years. Okay. Now I want the output to be displayed in the message box. So message box, simple interest is concatenate, then print the simple interest value which I have assigned to SI. SI is a variable which is holding simple interest value. Now you can run this form. It's going to ask you for the amount. I'll type principal amount 5,000. Time 2. Don't type next to that years and all. So it is in numerical form. Okay. Rate is 2%. So simple interest amount is 5,000. Time is 2 years. Rate is 2%. So on click of this, the output has to be displayed here. See, it will show you simple interest amount is 200. Any doubts you have? No doubts? No one is having
Can
any
you repeat?
doubts?
Can you repeat?
Okay. So you're opening a new file. Go for developer tab. Click on this Visual Basic. Go to Insert. Select User Form. Here on this form, you're going to place the control. I have label for displaying the message. Just select that label, click here. Again click here. Again click here. You have three labels. You're changing the name of your label. You're selecting this label 1. You're changing the caption. I'm changing the caption to enter principal amount. Then auto size, make it as true. Again select the second label. You're changing the name here as time. Enter time. Auto size, make it as true. Again here I want the caption as rate. Enter rate. Auto size, make it as true. Now I'll select this text box. I'll place it here. Now I'm placing one button. On button click, I want the output. So here you can change the caption, result. I'll click on this button. Once I click on this button, your code window will appear. So here, this is my procedure. Command button 1 is my object. Click is my event. On click on this button, I want the output to display in my message box. So what I'll do, I'll declare the variable. Every time I cannot keep typing text box 1 dot text, text box 2 dot text. Instead of that, I will assign the value what I accept in my text box to a variable. So how to declare a variable? You will be using the keyword dim followed by variable name. So variable can hold any value or the text. So for principal amount, I am declaring one variable as P. Then for time, T. For rate, R. And calculated output, I want to store it in one more variable. So simple interest, SI. Okay. So four variables I have declared. Now what I will do, P. For P, what I am assigning, value accepted in text box 1 dot text. Then again T is equal to val of text box 2 dot text. In the text box you have a property text. Whatever value that you accept has to assign to the variable T. Then rate. Rate is equal to val of text box 3 dot text. Now you want to calculate this and store the output in a variable, that is SI. So I'll type SI is equal to principal amount into time into rate divided by 100. Okay, you have to divide the rate by 100. Now I want the output to be displayed in the message box. So I'm using the function message box. What output it has to show you? Simple interest amount value has to be displayed there. So message box, I want to display a message. Simple interest is, I want to display the message as well as the value. So if you want to combine, you will be using ampersand sign, that is concatenation. Then SI. SI is the variable which is holding the output of accepted values. Now run this macro, run this form, accept the value, type the time, type the rate, click on result. So it will show you simple interest is 200. Any doubts in this? Any doubts? Okay. Instead of displaying the output on message box, I want to display the output in a text box. So I'll just give a comment here. Comment means it will not take that line into consideration. See, it will become green color. You are giving one single code, it will be green color. Now on your form, you are placing one more text box. I want the output to be displayed in a text box. I'll just place one more label here. I'll change the caption. Just double click on this auto size true. Then place one more text box. The output has to be displayed in my text box. So simple interest is, the output has to be displayed there. So text box 4 dot text. In text box 4 text, what it has to show you? It has to show you the output of SI. See, you have calculated and stored the output in SI. This value has to display in my text box. Run this, type the value. Rate is 2%, 2 years. Click on the simple interest, it is showing you here. Instead of displaying the output in a message box. Any doubts? No doubts? So what is the extent? Now see, next time when you open this workbook, okay, if you want this controls, whatever you have placed on your form, if you want this controls to be present along with the code, if you wanted, what you have to do is You have to go to File. If you save it as Excel workbook, that controls will not be present. You should save it as Excel macro enabled workbook. You should save your file as Excel macro enabled workbook. Only then next time when you open your file along with your controls and the coding, it will be available. If not, it is not present. So you have to select this Excel macro enabled workbook. You should save the file as Excel macro enabled workbook. So I'll give the file name as VBA form. I'll save this file. I'll close this file. Next time when you try to open that file, see VBA files, that is the file which is holding form on that some controls. It will have extension XLSM. So it will have extension XLSM. When I click on this, next time again if you go for Visual Basic, see along with your forms and the code is available. If you save it as Excel file, it will not be available. Is that clear? So how do I edit the cell content in Excel? How do I edit the cell content in Excel? How do I edit the cell content in Excel? I have three methods. Double click, then in formula bar you can edit, or you can press function key F2. Okay, see if I have typed NICT, I can press Control Enter to stay in the same cell. I need not press Enter to come back to that cell. Okay, now if you double click on the cell, you can continue typing. Again Control Enter, you can be in the same cell. If not, you should press Enter and then go back to that cell to edit the cell content. You can press function key F2 to edit the cell content. If not, in the formula bar also, again edit the cell content. Any doubts in this? Any doubts? So three methods. Now how do I go? How many rows and columns are available? Okay. Default, how many sheets are available? How many sheets you can have maximum in one workbook? Okay. Have you worked on the control keys from A to Z I had given? Functionality of each control key A to Z I have given you. Have you tried it out? Okay, what is filter and advanced filter? Why guys? You people are not there, huh? Am I speaking to only myself? Huh? If not, I'm not going to ask you any questions. Filter is for sorting data, wrong. For sorting data, we use sort command. It will arrange the column value in ascending or in descending order. Filter is used to display the records based on my criteria. If I have n number of records, I want to view the records of only department number 10, then I go for filter. One drawback, other records will be hidden. Then what is advanced filter? In case of advanced filter, I am able to view my original record and I have set the condition in a new location. Based on that criteria, records has to appear in a separate cell. You can view original record as well as based on your criteria. Now if I want the same sheet content, now I have here weekdays. I want the same contents to be present in multiple sheets. I can just click on this plus sign. One second, I'll mark the attendance and then again I'll proceed further. I want you to try it out. I want the same content. To hold the multiple sheet, you can press shift like this. How you can get the same content into multiple sheet? This is your query. Okay, you have to tell me in the next class. Any doubts you have in view tab? Any doubts in view tab? No doubts in view tab? Okay. What is the difference between protect sheet and protect workbook and protecting your file? Protect sheet, protect workbook, and assigning password to the workbook. What is the difference? Drawback of protect sheet. Okay. What is protect workbook? What is protect workbook? If you protect a workbook, if you right click on the sheet tab, options are inactive. Before protecting the workbook, you should check how many sheets are there. So assume if you have 3 sheets, you are able to edit the content of only 3 sheets. Additionally, I cannot insert or existing sheet cannot be renamed, deleted, you cannot move or copy. Once you unprotect, then it is possible. Then protecting your file. So if you assign a password to your file is encrypted. No one can enter into your file. You yourself, if you have forgotten the password, then you also cannot enter into your file. So see to that when you are assigning a password, make a note what password you have assigned, because passwords are case sensitive. If you would have typed in uppercase or lowercase, and if you have forgotten, no one can help you out. So see to that, make a note of what password you have assigned. Once you assign a password, one who knows the password only can view the content of the file. So it can be assigned, it can be removed. What is data validation? What is data validation? You're restricting the user not to accept any other content other than specified. Based on your condition, the records has to accept. If user tries to input any other value or the text, then it has to pop up a error message. You can extend your validation and you can circle the invalid data. You can as well as remove the circles. Invalid data circles can be removed. Okay, what is the shortcut key for save? What is the shortcut key to save your file? Am I audible? To open an existing file, to open an existing file, Control A, what it does? Control A, what it does? What Control A does? What does Control A do? Select entire worksheet. Okay. If your cursor is inside the database, then if you press Control A, only that database will get selected. So Control A is for selection, Control B is for B, B, B for Bangalore, bold. Control C, D, Control D, E, 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 Control E, flash fill. F, G, Control G, H, Control H, I, J, Control J, okay, K, L, M, M, Control M, okay, Control N, new workbook, okay, O, Control O, so you're opening existing workbook. P, Control P, print preview. Okay. Q, Control Q, quick access. R, right fill. Yes, yes, Control S. T, Control T, again table. U, underline. Okay. V, paste. Okay. W, Control W, Control W is to close the current file. Okay. One more shortcut is there no for closing the file. Control function key F4 also you can close the file. How do I exit? How do I exit Excel? Shortcut key. How do I exit? How do I exit Excel? Shortcut key. Alt F4. Alt F4 is to exit Excel. Control X is for cut. Y, Control Y, Control Z, correct. So I have told you about the shortcut keys from A to Z. What is relative and absolute address? Relative address and absolute address. What is relative address or reference and what is absolute reference? See, if you want to activate the swatches, see, if I want to activate swatches, you can Alt, press Alt key, only Alt key on your keyboard. These are called as swatches. If I press H, okay, under Home tab, if you want to apply bold effect, okay, you can press 1. It will apply bold effect for that cell. See, if I type anything, it is in bold letters. Again, if I want to remove that bold effect, press Alt H 1. It will remove the bold effect. Again, Alt H 2, italic. Alt H 3. You can underline it with a single or double underline. You can select. Either you can click on this commands, if not, how you can activate your swatches. Okay. How do I insert a chart? Shortcut key. Okay. Alt F1. Extension for Excel. Extension for Excel. Macro enabled workbook. Macro enabled workbook. When you place some controls on your form, and next time if you want to open the same Excel file, it should not be saved in in Excel format. You should save it as macro enabled workbook. In that case, what is the extension? The file will be saved as, with what extension? I told you XLSEM for macro enabled workbook. Okay, today we'll end up the session. We'll continue in the next class. Thank you.